is The Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. Long ago in France, there lived a king and queen. More than anything, they longed for a child. At last, to their great happiness, the queen gave birth to a little girl. All the bells in the land were rung with joy. The king and queen invited all the fairies in the kingdom to the naming party for the baby. And what a party it was! Plates and silverware of pure gold were set with care before each guest. But one fairy, Maleficent, who had left 50 years before and had not been seen in all the time, showed up at the door. Quickly the king and queen found a place setting for the new guest. But at last, the plate and the silverware were not of pure gold. This made the old fairy very angry. Soon it was time for each fairy to give her blessing to the baby. When it came to Maleficent's turn, she stood up and pointed her long finger at the sleeping baby girl in the cradle. I declare before all of you, Maleficent called out, that this child on her 60th birthday shall break her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die. With a whoosh of smoke, the evil fairy vanished. Everyone cried out with alarm, as you can imagine, but one fairy had not yet given her blessing. The king and queen asked this fairy, whose name was Merryweather, to reverse the curse. Merryweather shook her head sadly that was not possible, but she could soften the curse. On her 16th birthday, she said, when the princess pricks her finger on the spinning wheel, instead of dying, she will fall asleep for 100 years. 100 years? Said the queen. After our daughter turns 16, we will not know her anymore.
The king ordered every spinning wheel in the kingdom to be brought to the palace and burned. To be extra sure the princess would be anywhere near a spinning wheel, he also ordered the very Merryweather, along with the two fairies, Flora and Fauna, to take the baby far away. The fairies will raise the child in a cottage deep in the woods. There, they will keep her safe until after her 16th birthday. After that day, it would be safe to bring back the princess who had been named Aurora to the castle. Aurora grew up knowing no others than the three fairies whom she knew as her owns. The animals of the forest were her friends. The birds and the deer, the chipmunks and the rabbits followed her around as she fed them treats and cooked them. From the time she was little, Aurora was told she must stay inside the hills that surrounded them. She did not mind that in the least. The woods were wide and deep inside the hills, and there was plenty of room for her to play. One day, Aurora came home to the cottage to find three aunts preparing for a party. What's going on? She said. Tonight we will celebrate your 16th birthday, said Flora. It is, said Aurora. That means tomorrow I go back to the castle. Yes, said Merryweather. We have kept you safe from the spinning wheel for 16 years. Soon, it will be time for you to take up your royal life as a princess. And the first thing for you will be to get married, said Fauna. Married? Already? Said Aurora. Do you know who I'm supposed to marry? Yes, we do, said Fauna with a wave of her hand. But there's no need to worry about that, even if he's a bit strange, some might say a bit horrid, but you won't have to spend much time with him after all. And he does come from a fine family, Flora added with a quick smile. Wait a minute, said Aurora, pulling back. Why do you say he's a bit horrid? It's best not focus on such things, dears, said Merryweather. Just do everything your husband tells you to do, said Flora, and you will be fine. This is not turning out like I thought, cried Aurora. How long do I have to stay married? For the rest of your life, of course, said Flora. No, this is all wrong, cried Aurora. She turned away, then said in a firm voice, I would rather prick my finger on the spinning wheel and fall asleep for 100 years than have to marry someone I don't want to marry. Maybe by the time I wake up, people won't have to get married if they don't want to, and she ran out the door.
Dear me, said Merryweather to the other two fairies, I don't believe that went over every wheel. Aurora ran deep into the woods, where her animal friends lived. A deer happened beside her, along with the rabbits and the chipmunks. "We have to get out of here," she said to all of them. Then, pointing a mountain pass, she said, "We will go to right toward to the hills." Soon, Aurora came to a road in the distance with carriage, coming closer to her. As the reader approached, her animal friends touched her. "Hi," said the stranger. "I'm afraid my carriage scared away your pet. May I give you a lift?" Aurora had never seen a gnome before, but she could think about that unless she could find a spinning wheel. The very next day, the aunts would take her back to the palace. "Actually," said Aurora to the stranger, "there is something I need a great deal." "What's that?" said the stranger, hopping out of the carriage. Very nicely dressed was he, and well marriage too. "A spinning wheel?" said Aurora. "A spinning wheel?" said the stranger. "But there are none left in the land. Everyone knows that." "Well, you see," said Aurora, rubbing her hands together. I have this friend. She needs a spinning wheel and the worst way." Aurora looked directly at the stranger. "It is matter of life or death." The stranger looked at Aurora's eyes. At last, he said, I may know of one," he said, "but this needs to stay between you and me." The stranger stepped closer. "Not far from her life, and the old woman who spun yarn on her life. When the orders come to the bird and the spinning wheels, she could not bear to let go of the beloved spinning wheel since it had been in her family for many years. "She comes to me," he said, pointing down the road, "as I am the prince from the next kingdom. She begs me to let her store it away safely. So I put in the attic room of my castle tower, where no one ever goes until the 16 years had passed. She begged me to let her store it away safely," said the prince. "Which will take me to your castle tower?" said Aurora. "I should," said the prince. Then after a moment he said, "But I will."
She stepped onto his carriage. Soon they were at the tower, and they both stepped out. The prince said, "This is not your friend, is it?" Thank you for taking me here," said Aurora. "I will always remember your kindness. Now, if you please, I must do what I wish you." Aurora turned and went up the tower stairs to the very last stair. The door in front of her cracked open. Inside, all was dark and musty. She could barely take a step for all the spider webs, but she pushed them aside and stepped forward. There in a far corner was the spinning wheel. From a small window, she could tell the sun was already setting. "I hope this works," she said, "before it's too late." Aurora held out her finger to the tip of the spindle. She pricked her finger on that spindle. One tiny droplet of blood dripped from her finger. At once, Aurora felt dizzy. She fell onto an old dusty velvet blanket that lay on the attic floor, and fell into a deep sleep. Moments later, within hours, thorns and vines had sprung up and wrapped around the castle so thickly that no human or beast could pass through. For 100 years, Aurora and the other slept. After 100 years had passed, Aurora blinked her eyes awake. Then all others in the castle also awake. Everyone started to do what they had been doing when they had fallen asleep 100 years before. The thorns and vines around the castle melted away. Together they stared into the prince's carriage. Down the road, the market square, they discovered a whole new world. Bicycles and streetcars, cameras and streetlights, such marvels to behold. Perhaps, best of all, they learned that in this strange new time, it was quite alright for young women and men to get each other, if that's why they wanted to do, and even perhaps to fall in love. As Aurora and the prince took each other's hand to explore this wonderful new world together, that is exactly what they wanted to do. The end.
And the character of Sleeping Beauty is number one is Aurora. Is a kind, elegant, graceful, angelic, loving, and gentle person, as well a hopeless romantic. Aurora is very loyal and honest to aunts, and usually obeys their rules, respectful even though she may disagree with them. Number two is flora, fauna, and Meriwether. They are a trio of elderly fairy whom supply magic for King Stefan Court. When trouble arises, the fairies band together to protect Stefan and Queen Leah's daughter, Princess Aurora, from the wrath of their villainous counterpart, Maleficent. Number three is Maleficent represent pure evil. She's ruthless. She's ruthless, dark, devious, and will do whatever it takes to achieve her evil goals. Additionally, she is very sinister, which is shown when she taunts Prince Philip after she captured him. And number four, Philip is known to be brave and heroic. On the other hand, he appears to be very easygoing. At times, he is able to persuade people to do as he wants. Number five, King Stefan. Despite his royal position, Stefan is portrayed as a humble and debonair figure, and sweet and loving father, and a more forceful side of kingdom monarchy consisting of himself and his wife Leah. Number six, Queen Leah is shown to be a caring individual and loving mother to her daughter Aurora and her family, kingdom, and all of the palace servants. Number seven is Samson is the horse in Sleeping Beauty. He is faithful to his master, Prince Philip, although Samson does not speak aside from nagging. He seems to have some intelligence, being as to enough to know the way to his residence by memory. And the moral of Sleeping Beauty is moral that we can get from Sleeping Beauty is that women should wait to find their love instead of rushing into it. They should take the time to find true love. Another possible moral is that one must be careful whom he offends in life, whether or not the offense is deliberate.
Thank you for attention this video. Goodbye.
Sudah. Kasih.